Hold up. All right, we back. So today we talk about the nigga. We talk about the bitch. And if you have any question, any comment, go ahead. You can go ahead. You leave your questions and comments and let us know how you feel. And hopefully we can get sisters that want to talk about the war, bitch.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about Cracker.
Okay. All right. So
he's going to... is Cracker what, racist?
All right. Here's the situation with the word cracker. All right. A lot of black people have put out information that the word cracker came from the sound of the whip when the white people would crack the whip or whatever. But from my knowledge and my coming into the history of the word cracker, definitely taking the tour in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
I got a chance to hear what the real history of the word cracker came from and what it actually is. Because what blew my mind is I went to the Conch House in St. Augustine. It's a restaurant called the Conch House. And when I opened up my menu, it was a Florida cracker combo on the menu. So if there really is if cracker really was a racial slur, would it be on the menu? If you go to Beach Boulevard, there's a Florida Cracker Cafe on Beach Boulevard. So during the tour, they given the history of the Florida cracker. So basically, Florida crackers were colonial era British and American pioneer settlers and their descendants in what is now the U.S. state of Florida. The first of these arrived in 1763 after Spain traded Florida to Great Britain following the latter's victory over France in the 7-Year Wars. So, like I say, if you go to down in St. Augustine and take the tour, they got a whole history of where the Florida cracker, where the word cracker came from. And it never was a racial slur. I've heard white people tell me it doesn't even offend them when they're called crackers. And they would tell you, I am a cracker. That's my history. You know what I'm saying? And it has nothing to do with cracking the whip. So I don't even know where, a lot of people get that from. But like I say, when I went on a tour and I seen it on the menu and I seen it, on the the name of the restaurant.
Right.
But for some reason, black people have found a way to turn it around and use it as some sort of racial slur against white people.
Okay, but St. Augustine, for those of you that don't know, is one of the oldest city in the United States. I think it was 1860 something. I don't know. I've been there and they always have the sign. I forgot the date. Now, this is the first time I'm seeing what you just said now, and I'm like, whoa.
Well, it's about educating yourself on the history.
I didn't know that because I always seen that cracker as an offensive word.
Yeah.
Do you think though, regardless now that we know, when Charlemagne,
calling people cracker
cracker on radio,
and he got that from Chris Rock.
I know, but it was a comic.
Look at this.
The Florida Cracker Cafe.
You see that?
It's right there. I mean,
the Florida Cracker Cafe. So if that was really a racial slur, would anybody use that in the name of their cafe? You know what I'm saying? It's never really been a racial slur.
Would you consider like, maybe somebody that used that is more like sending message to say, I only cater to a certain group of people?
That's a possibility, but I mean, if you could, if
if you can open your store now and say
whites only, basically.
Exactly. Or you say nigga this, nigga that.
Well, I mean,
you call it nigga this, nigga that. Do you think like you were sending a message out though to like
to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Think about how many black people would go to that restaurant just to take pictures of the menu. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. It's true.
And think about if you name your restaurant nigga this, nigga that. Think about how many white people would go to that restaurant just to take a look at it.
Like what?
It would be something interesting.
It would
You know
be
what I'm
big,
saying? I want to see what goes on.
But you know when Dave Chappelle made that sketch when he was saying, "Oh, the nigga family," and they were white folks.
Yeah.
Have you seen that
their
part?
last name was nigga.
Yeah. So, now let's look at. I'm gonna ask you again. When Charlemagne, now you use that word on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the radio is national.
Yeah.
But whenever Charlemagne uses it, it's not for good.
Yeah.
It's not for. It's never for good. It's always crack ass. Like when a white person does something.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, right? It's a lot of things that, for some reason, black people get away with that white people can't. Like I say, I'm 100% real with it, and you know, I like for instance or whatever. A lot of people are offended because they see White Lives Matter on Facebook.
It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me either. It does bother a lot of black people. You know what I'm saying? It
doesn't bother me.
So there's a lot of situations that take place with black people that white people would be looked at as racist if they did it. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? That I wouldn't even deny that.
Okay. So when you let's look at it. So when if Charlemagne was using this all through, I'll be like, and that was the reason I was thinking like it was offensive.
Yeah.
Because every time I listen to him, whenever he's using it, he's always relating to something bad. It's just like we relate. Man, he acting like a nigga.
Yeah.
Like it's always something bad. Now that you're showing me this discovery, I'm looking like, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I always, but then would you call a white guy just, what's up, cracker?
Nah, it's not part of my vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? It's not something I use every day. So me walking up to somebody, because here's the thing, right? Let's say I walk up to a white person who don't even know what I just showed you, who only have heard about the word cracker being a racial slur. Now I'm in a totally different situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because every white person doesn't know the history of
Behind
Florida cracker.
All right. So, do you think Charlemagne should be using it on radio?
Well, like you said, he's using it in a derogatory term. So no, I don't think he should. Because guess what? What his name? I can't remember his name. Don Imus. I think that's his name.
What does he do?
He was a radio host. I think that's what his name is.
Oh yeah. The
But
old guy.
he
Finally passed. I think he's
he
dead
did
now.
that.
Yeah.
He
They did a
passed
movie
away.
on him too.
But what I'm saying is he used the term nappy-headed hoes when he was discussing this basketball team, a female basketball team.
I remember.
Now check this out. From my understanding, he got taken off the radio for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but guess what? A black radio host can use that same term and keep his job.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, like I say, it's some things that
we get to a point. Just say, hey, anybody can say it.
But no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying.
Do you think? I'm glad you brought that Don Lemon on.
Not Don Lemon.
It's Don Amos. It was an old guy. I remember.
Don Imus. I think that's
Don
his name.
Amos, yeah.
But
that was because he always had a past of throwing those.
Yeah. He
slurs
always
out there.
like he basically, we call that being reckless with the mouth. You know what I'm saying? He always was reckless at the mouth. But when that whole basketball team went back and complained about it and made a big deal about it, he ended up getting fired because of it.
Right.
Now, like I'm telling you, a black radio host could do the same thing and not get fired. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Do you think black people are racist?
In that case, I could say yeah. Because guess what? He said something, and because of what black people did, he was fired. So what I call racist is when you have the power to change somebody's you know what I'm saying, situation because of the color of their skin.
Mhm.
Now, mind you, they didn't change the situation because of the color of his skin. They changed the situation because of what he said.
Right.
And he was disrespectful to a bunch of black women.
Right.
But when you are in control of the dynamics of a whole group of people, and because of the color of their skin, you make changes and put things in place so that those people can't, go further.
Mhm.
That's racist. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
When you're able to put laws in place stopping a group of people from exceeding in life, that's racist.
More of a hate kind
Now, if you don't like black people because of the color of their skin, that's prejudice.
of.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't date somebody because of the color of their skin, that's preference. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So you got 3 words and 3 different meanings.
Wow, that's deep. Now, I want some of our friends
Mm-hmm.
who serve with us. We have a couple of them on day 2 now. We want you guys, and who are Caucasians.
Yeah.
I want to know how you guys feel about that word cracker.
Even, you know what? Let's add something. Let's add another word, honky.
I think that one is cool though.
But check this out though. Do you know how the word honky came up?
Nah.
So when white men would go into black neighborhoods and honk their horns for prostitution, so they call them honkies.
Well, black folk do the same.
Well, a lot of them would
We
get
just
out the
call
car.
them nigga.
You know what I'm saying? But when white guys pull up in a black neighborhood and ain't trying to get out the car, they honk their horn. You know what I'm saying?
So black people were the one that gave them that name.
From my understanding, yeah. From what I looked up, definitely.
Wow. You see that? Every day we're learning. So,
But check this out. Even in that case, is it racist?
no, it's not.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they're coming to have a good time.
Exactly.
And they're paying for that good time. So, I don't think it is. So, I want to get some of our white friends, our Caucasian friends. So, if you can leave a comment, just let us know. Would you be offended with that word? Not that we use it.
Yeah.
I've
I've never called
used
a
it.
white person honky, and
cracker.
I've never called a white person cracker.
Yeah, but I know Charlamagne uses it, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, are y'all okay with it, or it's not a big deal?
Yeah.
So if you can hit us up, leave a comment, let us know whenever you finish listening to this. We'll really, really appreciate. So let's close everything though. The word nigger, bitch, and cracker. I think we've covered it all. We're gonna come back and talk about religion next topic. So what in a bigger picture, how would you put all these words together?
Well, like I say, man, they actually can't be put together because only 2 of them have a racist history behind it, and that's nigga, and that's bitch. You know what I'm
You
saying?
think bitch has a racist word behind it?
When they wanted to describe a black female slave, they called her a nigger bitch.
Really?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So you think they were not using bitch before then?
No, I'm saying they were using bitch, but they were definitely specifically calling black female slaves nigger bitch. You know what I'm saying, to determine whether it was a male or a female.
Okay.
So yeah, it definitely have a racial history behind that word,
Okay.
and when it comes to black women.
So at the end of the day, we just wanted to touch this word. Like I said, it's a word I would not want my kids to use, but we are so in a liberal world right now.
Mm-hmm.
We are saying yes to the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's why I tend not to back up any party at all. I know.
And I'm with you on that, man, because like when I dug into a lot of the things, like, okay, when Trump opened his mouth, a lot of idiotic things comes
out. Yeah.
But I did some research.
On Biden?
No, on Trump.
Yeah.
Check this out. Now, a lot of people don't like Trump. But when you look at what he's done, he's done a lot more for black people than a lot of presidents before him.
Absolutely.
Even Barack Obama. A lot of people won't agree with me, but it's only because they haven't done their research. I don't think Trump should be the president because of the things that come out of his mouth. But when it comes to his policies, you can't argue with it. Check this out. This is some of the things Trump did. Trump is the first president that is for pro-life. If Black Lives Matter, they matter in the womb too.
Mm-hmm.
He signed the most historic criminal justice reform that released 7,000 people from prison, and 91% were black. He permanently funded HBCUs. So they weren't being funded. Every year they would have to go and ask for money. Now they never had to ask for money again. They're funded permanently. He lifted the federal ban that was against faith-based HBCUs. He made it illegal for women to give birth in chains. So now when a woman who's in prison, when she give birth, they're not chained up to the bed. They're treated like a human being. Most of these changes were made due to the fact that he lended a listening ear to Angela Stanton, the black woman in Atlanta, who, you know what I'm saying, running for a position.
Yeah,
so,
Republican.
So
she's very smart.
Oh man,
Dog,
I watched the interview of her on the Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Oh my god,
he broke down,
boy.
When he broke down that pro-life about having babies against abortion,
exactly.
I actually went to go dig on, like, who is she?
Man,
I mean, I think we are so brainwashed with. I said it. You and I agree on this.
Mm-hmm.
Democrat knows they're gonna get our vote regardless.
Yeah.
And I think they just take it for granted now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I started having issue with Trump, it's not the policies. It's not. I can relate so much. It's
when I'm sitting
and
I'm watching the things he say, you know what I'm saying, and I mean, I'm like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying?
Did you say that?
Yeah, you know, but
I think
when I look at what he's doing in the background, it's a totally different story. Because here's the thing: let's say he's not making the decisions based on his own mindset. The fact that he's listening to black people and listening to black people's needs, which I just proved with the things he's already done, you can't argue with that, man. Because if he's lending a listening ear and then putting those things he's listening to in place, you can't argue with that, man. So he might not have all the answers, but as long as he's willing to listen to the people who do.
The only issue I've always had with him is his approach.
Exactly.
I'll say that. The way he talks, I just do not like it. My morals.
Yeah.
It's just like, and what if we're gonna switch a little bit now that you brought this Trump in, because I listen to Biden, I fall asleep sometimes. Mm-hmm. But one thing I was gonna say is what you just said now. How did we get to a point now where Democrats, they can basically say anything to get black votes?
Man, look, I have no idea.
Another
what
question.
I do know is, before I start, you know, just looking into what each party does and their stances on different things, you know what I'm saying? I always voted Democrat. It doesn't matter who was in the seat.
You don't even
I
ask.
voted Democrat. I didn't even know why I was voting Democrat. I voted Democrat because the family members before me was voting Democrat.
It was just passed on.
Until I start actually looking at where these people stand. Because I'll tell you right now, man, the Democrats are the ones who's killing most of the kids.
Absolutely.
With this pro-choice thing.
Yeah.
So, and then to go deeper into that, right? If a woman has a choice, Charlemagne the God and the Breakfast Club brought up that, you know, situation of where, okay, well,
what if you get raped?
Exactly. That's only 1% of the people who, okay, the fact that women have too many things in place not to get pregnant, you know, because like I say, man,
like, we're not looking at the genesis.
Exactly.
We're not looking at the beginning.
Exactly.
How to prevent it. We always focus on the aftermath.
Exactly.
So it's a reckless behavior that is leading to this.
And then think about this, right? Let's go back to fatherlessness, right? A father doesn't even have a choice in the matter. and that's his child being aborted.
And that's what that lady was saying.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So if I get you pregnant and you don't want to be with me and you don't want the child, why can't you have my baby and give me my child? You know what I'm saying? Give me my child. Because it seemed like, and by the statistics, the fathers are the better parents anyway. Because remember, fatherlessness
is the biggest problem in the black community.
Exactly. So give me my baby. Don't kill my baby. Give me mine. And like they said,
I think we're gonna have a topic.
The opposite of pro-life is pro-death. Not pro-choice.
There's no two way, but
Exactly.
I love when she said that.
Exactly. The opposite of
You know
pro-life
what you
is
just
pro-life.
said now?
What's up?
We're going, because we getting away from this, but we definitely going to bring back this topic.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Democrat and Republican. Who is really
For black people.
for black people? We really going to sit down and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Like I said, with Trump, I do not just like his approach. What you just said now, we're going to close with this. You know, with this George Floyd and everything, Stephen A. Smith keeps saying something. I don't care if you all don't play basketball. I don't care if you don't do this. But have we seen any legislation that is changing what is going on? And that's what you just said now, like, this is what Trump have done.
Yeah.
It just seems like we go through this phase where when something happens, we break down houses with. Have you seen anything that has changed all this period? Anything on papers? Anything that is saying, well, like what you can just show me now, where you can go online and say, hey.
Well, I've heard of things being offered up to put in place, but I haven't seen anything change yet. So, you know, everything has a process. You know what I'm saying? Everything has a process. You know, things are brought up, looked over, and then the decision is made to pass it. But like I say, man, one thing that I can't say about Trump is that he's not listening to the black voice. You know what I'm saying? Because I just gave you a list of things that have changed. So, you know, when he opened his mouth, it's not very good.
My God.
He doesn't.
You know, shout out to Gomez. Gomez is a big fan of this. And I relate more to Republicans. Yeah, I believe.
Me too.
I'll be the first.
I have a lot. I got a lot of Republican views. And like I say,
black people do.
Yeah, black people.
A black person wants to have a family with mom and dad at home.
Yep.
Daddy takes care of home.
Yep.
Like most of our belief, they want to be married. Most of our belief really is so conservative.
Yeah,
it's not liberal.
Then we shoot ourselves in the foot by voting Democrat.
So at the end of the day, I just think with time, we're going to learn this. The more education we get in.
Yeah.
And I told Gomez, there's one of my boy, who is a great Republican, great guy. But one thing I just say is, my morals is everything. My morals and my beliefs. I stand by that anytime. You can. This is more like Abraham Lincoln freed the slave, but he was fucking all these slaves, doing whatever he wants to do with it, telling them to claim. But hey, I freed the slave, but I'm still fucking you like a regular guy would do.
Yeah.
That's where I'm looking at when your moral, as far as I'm concerned, is everything. And that's really the issue I have with Trump. I just think when he's talking, when he's relating his message,
He
just
doesn't
seems
seem
like,
really bright, man. He doesn't seem
and
bright.
it just seems like it's not about y'all.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about y'all. If you saying you're a Republican, I would think if you're running for president, I won't focus on going to places that you already have fans.
Not just that, man. A lot of times, Trump offered for a lot of these celebrities to come to a meeting with him. And a lot of celebrities didn't go because they didn't think it was the cool thing to do. Now, this woman, Angela, goes and sits with this president, and changes are made because of things that, you know, she brought up. You know what I'm saying? Things that, you know, she talked to him about. And like I say, man, all of these people released from jail, and 91% was black.
Right. Kanye had a lot to do with that. Yeah. But let me ask you a question. Do you think that that's one of the big problem with our people in terms of we are so focused on what
Other people
the
think.
culture will think about us.
Yeah.
Like you and I just talk now, like, yo, I mean, I'm very independent. I will support. My life is very easy. Is it that right or wrong?
Yeah.
There is no two-way about it. But most of you are dedicated to the party, and that's gang related.
Yeah.
I always say it's so gang related.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what you just said now. A powerful celebrity will not want to go meet with the president because they are worried about what the culture will say.
Think
Is
about
that
this,
really
right?
helping us?
No, it's not helping us. Think about this, right? Jay-Z is doing a lot of positive things. And from my understanding, Trump offered to have a meeting with Jay-Z. Jay-Z declined. Think about if Trump would have been a listening ear to what Jay had to say. You know what I'm saying? Think about how many changes that, you know, somebody that powerful could make by taking that meeting, talking to Trump, telling them, look, hey, this is what my people need. This is what we are lacking in the black community. You know what I'm saying? We need better schools, better education, better
Changes
teachers,
in the hood.
all these different things. But if you're not willing to even take a meeting and sit and talk things out, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know,
We just give passes to people that don't count. Like, oh, it's cool. Let's just go ahead, let him go. Anyway, we gonna come. Now that you said it, after we finish talking about religion,
yeah,
we really gonna sit there and we're gonna talk about Democrat and Republican. Who is really helping the black people?
definitely.
Let's really, really look at it. I've seen a lot of things. I think most of us see Republicans as racist.
Yeah.
That's just the problem. Most of us, we don't want to hear what they have to say. Oh, he's a Republican. I don't want to deal with him.
Yeah, they're thinking of them as uppity and, you know what I'm saying?
They're too good. They think
Yeah.
they're better than us. But when we really look at their beliefs,
Yeah.
the more you study, the more you start saying, maybe these guys are out to. And another big thing is just the immigrant stuff is the reason a lot of people really like the Democrat. You know, right is right, wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
If you're going to come in here, come in legally. I don't have a problem with that. Come in legally. So, I mean, hey, yo, man, we can go on and on, but we're going to come back and talk about Democrat and Republican. Definitely. You open a new one for us.
For sure.
Bless you, my brother.
Bless you.
After this, we're going to do our religion. Anything else we're missing?
Benia.
I'm gonna stop it right now, and then we're gonna send him we're gonna do our special shout out today.
Yeah,
Today shout out today.
I bet.
Thank you guys, man.